So nobody, ano masasabi mo doon sa Canada? India issue ngayon. Wala, pati doon, nagkakalat na sila. Hindi, seryoso, walang disiplina na. Canada, dati parang level 2 to ng states, ganito ganyan na mas konting mababa pero wala. Ayun, pero ngayon, wala na. Yung mga kalahi ko na naman. Tapos sila pagalit. Pag ayoko na mag-talk.
Hello guys, Nardino TV again. And for today guys, before we start, disclaimer lang po at saka siguro to put everything into proper perspective, no. Yung channel ko po guys is hindi po intended to bash any race or anyone at saka hindi po siya nakafocus para mang-discriminate ng kahit anong lahi, right? Kasi guys, itong topic natin ngayon, makikita nyo naman na mamaya na yung mga subject natin is most of them or kinda all of them is mga Indiano, no? And kung matatandaan nyo po for I think last week, meron din po tayo ditong na-discuss na isa rin pong international student na gumawa ng hindi maganda sa supermarket, no? Kaya lang po nagiging ganun din yung laman ng aking content kasi po sila din kasi yung mostly laman ng mga news dito sa Canada or yung sa akin naman po sinishare ko lang kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa amin dito because that is the one of the intention po ng aking channel, no, para i-share sa inyo yung buhay Canada, kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa amin dito, in particular po dito mostly sa British Columbia, no. So and gusto ko lang din pong malaman ng mga nanonood sa akin or dito sa channel, lalong-lalo na guys yung wala dito sa Canada. Gusto ko pong malaman nyo na napakalaki po ng Canada guys, no? We have 10 provinces and each po is merong sari-sariling weather, meron silang sari-sariling culture, policy, rules, etc. Right? So, pag nakarinig po kayo na, sa Canada ang taas ng snow, hindi po lahat ng provinces ganon. O sa Canada ganito, o sa Canada ganon. Hindi po. So, hindi po lahat kasi nga guys, napakalaki ng Canada. Okay? Para lang po meron kayong magandang information regarding dito sa Canada. Okay? So ngayon guys, tuloy na natin yung ating very important topic ngayon, no. So this is regarding dun sa mga aspiring truck drivers dito sa Canada, kung paano sila nakakakuha ng driver's license sa maling paraan. Okay? So, panoorin natin guys yung video regarding that. Okay. So, ito guys is a news from CBC. CBC is a Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So, sila yung tackle nitong issue at ang topic nga natin is yung hidden cameras reveal how unqualified truckers are getting on our roads. Ayan guys. So, pakinggan natin. So, this is a 20 minutes na video guys pero hindi ko na pinover lahat. So, kinuha ko na lang yung mga highlights at saka yung very important doon sa mga nagbabalak na maging part nitong sector na to, no? So kung kayo ay nasa Philippines or nasa ibang bansa at gusto nyong pumunta dito sa Canada at ito yung gusto nyong maging trabaho, this is just for awareness. Kung meron palang nangyayaring katulad ng mga ganitong bagay dito sa Canada. I think this is sa Brampton, 'di ba? So and alam naman natin sa Brampton for the past months or weeks may mga issue talaga doon, yung mga immigrants na nanggaling ng India, 'di ba? Yung mga nagpo-protest, 'di ba? So ito guys, doon din yata galing. So let's watch the video guys. Okay? Panoorin natin.
Consider the consequences. New truck drivers get into more accidents. The heavy and dangerous loads they haul cause more damage and injury. Makes us wonder, are they getting the training they need?
Is this truck driving school?
It starts in training yards like this one.
Yeah, I'm looking to get my license.
We come with hidden cameras after hearing we might be offered some shortcuts.
When can I start? Like tomorrow? Today?
Proper
So yun pa lang guys, 'di ba? So yung hidden agent ba or whatever, no? So yung napagtanungan nga niya, no? So kung kailan ako pwedeng mag-start ng training, sinabi agad today. Para sa akin lang, no guys, 'di ba dapat as a training center, hindi ba dapat bago ka mag-start ng training is meron agad screening, no? Like medical, psychological, para talagang yung ite-train mo, sure ka na nasa tamang pangangatawan, healthy ba, wala ba siyang any sakit na magiging hindrance niya sa pagmamaneho. Kasi nga guys, this is a very delicate job, no? Pero to guys, oh, 'di ba? Pagkatanong pa lang on that day, pwede ka na mag-start agad. Okay? So, let's continue, guys.
training can cost more than $10,000, but here, they're charging half that.
4,500.
4,500?
Yeah, with the 2 tries.
In 4,000, 2-time road test is included.
4,500. So, for the
So, yun guys, di ba? Ang sabi, ang baseline, okay? Ang baseline para makapag-aral ka ng trucking or para makapag-aral ka kung paano magmaneho ng truck, ang baseline is around 10,000 Canadian dollars, no? And kung kayo, nagre-research talaga kayo on this particular sector, di ba? Malalaman nyo na agad yung mga price, di ba? So, dito guys, they are offering half or less pa nga, di ba? And yung sinabi ko nga kanina, di ba? Kahit naman hindi natin i-reveal, they looks guys na nanggaling ng India, di ba? So, ayun. Tapos, tuloy natin guys.
everything.
These schools offer a program called MELT, Mandatory Entry-Level Training. Ontario is the first in North America to set it up. Anyone who wants to drive a tractor-trailer has to take at least 103.5 hours of training before they can take a road test. But we're hearing we may not need that many hours.
103 hours completed, it doesn't matter you are completed or not. Maybe you will ready in 90 hours, doesn't matter.
A third of the time is supposed to be spent in a separate classroom learning theory. Not here.
No in class. No need for in the class. Okay.
No theory, nothing.
No.
Before your road test, I will train you 100% for everything.
Everything is here.
Everything is here.
Any classroom or
So, yun guys. So, yung MELT nga daw, di ba? It's a mandatory training para sa mga aspiring truck drivers, no? So, I think, bago ka makakuha ng license, kailangan mo to as a prerequisite, no? Na kailangan na nag-aral ka talaga and merong certain number of hours, 103.5 hours ang mandatory training na kailangan mong tapusin bago ka makapag-apply talaga ng license. Pero sa kanila guys, di ba? Sinabi nila kahit hindi mo na matapos yung 103, bibigyan ka nila ng mark na nakapagtapos ka ng 103.5 hours. That is not right, di ba? Sabi ko nga kanina, this is a very, very delicate and dangerous work, di ba? Na dapat yung mga driving school katulad nito, ine-equip talaga nila yung mga nag-a-apply. Kasi nga, magmamaneho sila ng napakalaking sasakyan, guys. At hindi lang ma-endanger yung sarili mo or as a driver, pati yung mga ibang mga private vehicle na nasa daan din kasama nung mga truck na yon, no? Tsaka 'di ba nga ang sabi pa wala daw classroom exam, 'di ba? You know, sa pag-take po ng driver's license, I think pati sa Philippines at pati yung na-experience ko mismo dito sa Canada, may knowledge exam talaga. May knowledge test and exam, 'di ba? And I think malalaman mo yon or matututunan mo yon sa classroom, yung sinasabi nga nila, di ba? Pero sa kanila, wala na daw. Wala nang classroom training. Doon mo malalaman, guys, yung mga signage, yung mga basic. Siguro kapag track, di ba, guys, kung paano mo i-calculate yung pagpasok mo sa left side or sa right side, di ba? Yung mga safety, yan yung mga kailangan mo malaman sa loob ng classroom. But on this one, basta magbayad ka lang, sila na ang bahala, which is wrong, di ba? So let's continue, guys. So let's jump a little bit. Punta tayo sa dito banda. Okay, dito.
The training was not appropriate at all.
This student never actually finishes his melt, even though the government thinks he did. So that was it. It was
Yeah.
shuttered.
Just shuttered, yeah, abruptly.
He doesn't want us to publish his name to protect his chances of getting a job. The school he attends is called Smart Truck Training Academy, one of hundreds that spring up in the 7 years since MELT begins. But it closes out of the blue and keeps a lot of people's money.
Okay, guys, so sinilip ko yung sinabi nila na company, yung Smart Truck Training Academy. Ito lang ang nakita ko, guys, Instagram na page, right? So ito, guys. So ayan. So meron sila mga post na ganyan, di ba? Tapos kung mapapansin nyo nga, mga Indiano yung mga client, di ba? Okay? Tapos, guys, meron ditong website. Ayan, yung sttaweb.com, no? Pinuntahan ko yan, guys. Ito ang lumabas, di ba? Chinese character or something, yung sa may sa browser. Tapos ano nakalagay pa nga dito, not secure, no? So hindi ko alam, no? Pero ang sabi nga daw, na put down na to, no? So I think wala na into business. Ngayon, guys, share ko na rin sa inyo, guys. So kahit anong trabaho or kahit anong company, kung meron kayong kailangan i-check, no? Halimbawa, guys, nag-search lang ako ng mga companies kung halimbawa gusto kong maging or gusto kong mag-aaral ng pagmamaneho ng truck, di ba? So eto yung mga nahanap ko, no? So meron akong nakitang dalawang company. So tuturo ko lang sa inyo, guys, kung paano ba rin kayo mag-check ng company, like halimbawa ito, guys. So this is Canadian Truck Training Center, no? Ang unang hinahanap ko diyan, guys, is yun nga, kumbaga meron silang decent na website, di ba? Halimbawa yan, nakalagay yung tungkol sa company nila. Mostly makikita mo din dyan kung sino yung mga owners, di ba? Tapos makikita mo yung mga courses, di ba? Tapos yung equipments, right? At meron silang contact number talaga, di ba? Meron pa akong isang nakita, ito, yung Bison, right? And ang isa pang tinitignan ko dyan, guys, kung kailan sila nag-start ng business. Halimbawa ito, guys, year of incorporation, 1969, di ba? So around that area, year sila nag-start, di ba? So yun yung mga bagay na pwede nyong tignan, di ba? At saka wag lang kayo magre-rely sa website or what. Kaya din kailangan yung kunin yung contact number, di ba? Tawagan nyo, tapos lahat ng mga questions, yung mga legitimacy, di ba, na pwede nyong makita sa company, right? Ayan. So yung location, di ba? Yung about, ayan. Who we are, ayan, no. So kumpleto, di ba? Ayan yung owner, CEO, di ba? Tapos ano pa nga yan, guys, kapag talagang medyo kung talagang gusto mong maka sigurado talaga, kinuha ko yung pangalan mismo. Halimbawa, ito, yan, yung guy na na nasa picture, di ba? Ayan, si Mike Ludwig, di ba? Sinesearch ko pa yan guys sa LinkedIn, di ba? Yung para talaga makita ko lang na yung kausap ko or yung pupuntahan ko na company to get a service is talagang legit, di ba? Let's continue guys to the video.
So cost was the most attractive to you.
Yeah, it was the most attractive.
He ends up
Siyempre,
losing
pera.
nearly $6,000, adding insult to injury.
So my first class ever for doing a reverse was one where I was just told to get in the driver's seat and just back the truck up. And the instructor was standing to the side, having a chat. Once I started, a few minutes into it, he looked over and he started screaming, which was sort of like their go-to instruction strategy, so to speak, is they just start screaming.
What about when you got on the road?
Sometimes it was just by myself and then the instructor in the passenger seat. But there were times when there was a third student sitting in the middle and there was actually no seat with a seat belt in the middle. It was like a folding lawn chair with like those two metal legs and like a fabric in the middle.
That doesn't sound safe.
It's not safe at all.
Oh wow, 'di ba? So yun guys, no. Kaya din siya mahal doon talaga sa mga legitimate, 'di ba? Kasi nagbayad ka ng less, ano pang i-expect mo, 'di ba? So kita mo yung way nila ng pagtuturo, it's more of shouting, 'di ba? Kumbaga hahayaan ka lang doon na nakaupo ka tapos sisisigaw sila doon kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin. That's not a proper way how to train, 'di ba? So meron pa daw isang instance na meron pa silang kasamang isa na nakaupo sa gitna na parang kumuha lang sila ng chair tapos wala siyang seatbelt at all. I think that's another student na nanonood kung paano or nag-aaral at the same time with you. Kasi guys, 'di ba? Sa training yung sa delicate work na tulad nito, kaya din siya mahal guys kasi nga nakatutok sa iyo yung mismong magtuturo. Para siyang 1:1, 'di ba? Pero yun nga, na meron kang kasama sa gitna at hindi pa safe kasi wala siyang seatbelt. Red flag na agad talaga yun, guys, no? At saka ngayon yung tanong niya, no? So, ang talagang nakaka-attract is yung low cost, di ba? Doon ka talaga nila, susubukan na kunin, no? Kasi nga, syempre, kung kesa magbayad ka ng 10,000, sa amin, half lang, di ba? Talagang talagang nakaka-attract ng mga tao, but it's dangerous, di ba? Tsaka at the end of the day, sayang din yung pera mo, di ba? Kasi nga hindi ka nakakuha ng quality training. All right? So let's continue, guys.
When Smart Truck shuts down, he still hasn't received much of his training, but they register him as a MELT graduate anyway.
Wow. So yun, di ba, yung kanina nga, guys, yung company kung saan siya nag-aral, na put down yun, hindi na mahanap yung owner, pero binigyan pa rin siya, guys, ng guarantee na yung guy na to is nakapag-aral sa amin at naka-complete ng proper na training and everything para mag-push through siya dun sa next stage, which is dangerous, guys. Right?
A center in Brampton. The provincial government no longer runs things here. A private company called Serco oversees the testing and licensing of all drivers in Ontario. We watch from afar. As the rain begins, so does the student's test. He's asked to inspect his truck, answer questions about theory, try backing up, and then on to the road test. How does he do this time?
Failed. So just as a result of missing a few minor things, I took a left turn just like at the right time, but he
Bagsak
felt
pa
that
din.
the oncoming traffic was getting closer. But I felt that we had more than enough distance, so I took that left turn. I'm not giving up, no. I have to go back, yeah.
Oh, 'di ba, guys? So yun yung sinasabi natin na kapag talagang hindi ka nakakuha ng quality training, babagsak ka talaga. Tulad niya, 'di ba? So nagbayad nga siya ng half, nakatipid ka nga, 'di ba? Pero At the end of the day, nasayang lang din yung pera mo, so magte-take ka na naman ulit, di ba? So, in the end, hindi ka talaga nakatipid. Di ba? Nagsayang ka ng oras, nagsayang ka ng pera, and at the end of the day, hindi ka pa rin nakakuha ng license. What would you expect, di ba? Babagsak ka talaga. Okay? So, yung kanina guys, issue regarding dun sa mga driving school, no? Na talagang hindi nagbibigay ng quality training para dun sa mga aspiring drivers. So, ito naman guys, iba. Ito mas malupit. Ito naman guys, ang issue, yung mismong mga tester na o yung mga nagpapa-exam. Okay?
Other would-be truckers are getting their licenses in a different way, one that is even more shocking. They're bribing their way onto roads and highways, and some car drivers are doing it too.
Yun. See? So, dito naman iba. So, after nung kanina, doon sa mga school, dito naman guys, yung mismo nagpapa-exam. Doon naman sila, nagbabayad or tumatanggap ng lagay, di ba? Oh man. Napaka total messed up na, di ba, nung process, di ba? Let's continue guys. So, second. Tingnan natin. Dito.
These people took bribes, gave licenses for a murder weapon.
That's a really strong statement. What do you mean by that?
I mean that in any accident of a transport versus a car, more than likely the person in that car is not going to walk away.
Yeah.
And
Sure yan.
if someone doesn't know how to properly drive a vehicle or doesn't properly do an inspection, I feel it's only a matter of time before someone will die from that.
She hears rumors that the bribes are as much as $5,000 for a pass.
Wow. So, tama siya doon, no, guys? Exactly. So, pag hindi nagawa ng tama yung trabaho ng mga nagpapa-exam, di ba? Parang binibigyan mo na ng murder weapon yung nag-apply ng license. Kasi guys, sipin nyo, 10-wheeler na truck, no? Na napakatulin sa highway at hindi siya equipped para talaga magmaneho ng ganong sasakyan. Hindi lang nai-endanger yung mismong buhay niya, pati guys yung buhay ng mga makakasabay niya sa kalsada. So at ang bribe is nasa 5,000 Canadian dollars, no? So that is so dangerous. Okay, so jump tayo sa
Fail.
Have you passed students you shouldn't have?
That keeps me up at night, and I think I probably have.
Yun lang. See? So, as a examiner, sinabi niya na meron siyang, or meron talaga, di ba? Meron siyang mga naipasa na talagang hindi dapat, or yung mga truck drivers na nasa kalsada na ngayon na dapat hindi. Di ba? That is so dangerous. Siguro, kailangan magkaroon ng re-evaluation, no? Dun sa mga at saka yung sa mga naipasa niya, di ba? Para talagang masala at maitama, no? So, let's go to next one. Ito.
Within the company itself.
Bourgeois recently introduces a motion.
Let me show you around.
Okay. To have all trucker testing and licensing done by public servants instead of a private company, like it used to be. One of the things.
So, ang sabi niya, no, na dapat daw yung nangangalaga sa testing at saka yung sa mga nagpapa-exam sa training, dapat talaga nasa public yan or nasa public sector or nasa government, no? Para talagang mas centralized at mas mahawakan ng tama. At sabi nga, di ba, ang sabi niya, yun yung dating process. Again, hindi ko alam kung bakit sila nag-shift from public to private, no? Ito guys, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na iba't ibang province, iba't iba ng policy at iba't iba ng rules. Kasi kung dito, hawak yan ng private, dito po sa BC, as far as I know, handle po yan ng public, right? So, kapag lahat po ng driver's licensing, whether private, commercial, di ba? Isa lang po ang nag-handle niyan dito sa BC. Okay? Tuloy natin, guys.
That frustrates her most
It's coming up on the left. That's the station.
is this state-of-the-art inspection station just outside Thunder
Yun pala
Bay.
eh.
So you can
Meron
see
palang ganyan eh.
the lights aren't on. The inspection station isn't open.
We move in for a closer
Yun lang.
look. Trucks are supposed to be randomly inspected here. It costs $30 million to
wow.
build, but Bourgeois says it's closed a lot.
I think it could be open 24/7. Anybody traveling west has to go past here. So it could really make a big difference with enforcement.
Ayun lang. So, yun naman pala guys eh. Meron naman palang napakagandang equipment, no, na pwedeng ma-utilize para talagang magkaroon ng random checking. Lalong-lalo na sa mga trucks, di ba? Bago sila pumasok sa main highway, kailangan daw muna nila dong pumunta for random checking. Ang problema guys, again, I think, hindi lang pala sa Philippines yun, no? Pati din pala dito sa Canada is yung implementation, di ba? Ang dami nating batas, ang daming infrastructure, pero pag hindi talaga na-execute ng tama, useless lang din. Kasi, kumbaga, $1 million worth, di ba? State-of-the-art equipment. Ang problema, hindi naman pala na-utilize, hindi nagagamit. So, sayang lang din, di ba? Yon guys. So, hindi ko na talaga tinapos yung buong video kasi nga medyo mahaba, no guys. So, for me, yun lang yung mga important parts na kailangan kong i-share sa inyo. Lalong-lalo na guys sa mga aspiring na pupunta dito sa Canada at yun yung gusto nyong maging trabaho, no? Yun dun sa trucking. Hindi po siya madali, no? Dapat lang po na pumunta kayo dun sa legal na process, right? Ito pong video na to is for awareness, no, na meron pong mga ganitong mga company na nagsasamantala sa mga ganyan, no. Hindi po porke mura kailangan po nating doon pumunta, no. Kailangan po nating mag-research na maayos, i-check ng mabuti yung mga companies or mga services na papasukin natin bago talaga tayo makipag-engage sa kanila. Lalong-lalo na guys yung mga delicate na work na katulad nito. Kailangan po nating maging responsible. Lalong-lalo na guys, sabi ko kanina, hindi lang na-endanger yung sarili natin, no, bilang isang nagmamaneho, pati po yung mga kasabay natin sa kalsada. Kaya po, wag nating i-shortcut yung mga katulad ng mga services na yan or yung mga training na kailangan yung puntahan. So, yun lang guys. I hope na meron kayong napulot or natutunan or nag-enjoy man lang dito sa video natin for today. So, thank you again guys for watching and see you again on my next video. Peace.